Hello everyone. Thanks for the waiting. This is the third part to my walkthrough. Right now we're gonna go and take on the Undead Settlement at the foot of the high wall. I did a little bit of off-screen. Tried to fight the dancer. I recorded it, but I could not get bleed to proc, so I will make a highlight reel and insert it of all the times the dancer smashed me into a pulp when we actually do get around to fighting the dancer. Apparently 21, I'm certainly not good enough to take the dancer on at that level, and yeah, so it could be done, but not by me. So here we go. This episode we're going to cover how to get into the mound makers. Probably going to kill the cursed rotten greatwood, and we're going to meet a few key NPCs depending on what endings you're looking for. And yeah, so we'll go around with that. So if you go over here, kill the dogs. They're eating an alluring skull. We're gonna go over here to this only NPC that's moving. This is Yoel of Londor. Very important for the Lord of Hollows, like the usurping the fire ending, which you can do if you follow this really convoluted storyline. But step one is to accept his service, and he disappears because video games. There's a homeward bone over here. Over there is a stray demon that we can't see. Also, the gates haven't rendered, which is kind of lame. Usually they're really good at details like that, but, you know, no gates today. And, oh yeah, I used almost all my embers trying to kill the dancer, so I'm down to like 2. Let's see if we can get invaded. It's usually a pretty good invasion area. A lot of times that'll happen. So if you come over here, there's a scripted event. These dogs will go and more or less fight these dudes and leave you alone. Once they kill all the guys, they'll start messing with you. But you can usually just shut that. Leave them be. There's no reason to kill them really. And then you get this first bonfire right here. And there's usually summon signs around here. It's a pretty common place to summon people. There's a giant up there. We're going to visit him later because we don't want him to shoot spears at us. It's really obnoxious. We're going to go through here and we're going to knock down this corpse that has Loretta's bone. Presumably it's Loretta. No, it's not actually like her bone, like from her body. It's like a trinket, little keepsake. It has like little holes carved in it and stuff. Apparently, I don't know, it's a really weird thing to keep, but there it is. It's the small leather shield. It's a really good parry shield if you don't want like a very high investment, like if you don't want to have a lot of decks. It's good for strength builds. And it doesn't weigh really anything, so, you know, it's got the small shield parry animation. It's pretty good. Over here we got some repair powder, which you usually aren't going to need. You might need it if you're using the Moonlight Greatsword when you use the ability. So that was the corpse that I needed to cut down right over there. Like in Demon Souls, there's a little spot where there's corpses that you can cut down. And it's like Stockpile Thomas's relatives. Pretty good little throwback there if you ever played it. But these guys, they'll come and ambush you, but as long as you just go to their little corners and get them first, you only have to deal with the one that drops down right here. Yeah, I'm gonna have to rethink this build a little bit because apparently bleed has been pretty harshly nerfed, what everybody's saying, and not sure how true that is in general for our purposes, but it's definitely making me think of using a different build. So right over here, you can blow up these barrels and you'll deal with a lot less of these guys. Usually it takes out more than one. But when you're over here, best bet is just kind of chip away at them in the little outskirts over here. Right over there, that'll probably get through. Yep. And then right over where that evangelist is sitting, you're gonna want, they have Estus flask shard. If you run up, you can get a quick backstab and just kind of roll away after you're invulnerable for a minute. But then you gotta kite these guys around, and man, I'm really bad at free aiming that. So with this chick, you gotta watch out with that gnaw spell. It causes bleed pretty hard, and it'll track you for a long time. But just come over here, kite them around, and luckily that evangelist won't aggro you for very far, and a lot of these guys are like asleep at the wheel. That was a little risky. Oh, yeah, like I said, don't dodge the wind up, dodge the impact, and I dodged the wind up and got hit for it. Hoping I can get some of these guys to drop this 4-pronged plow. It's actually a really good spear. So with this chick, you can kind of run around behind her, usually, and just... Oh, watch out right here. It's a grab attack. It does a lot of damage. And that's that. These guys are really tanky. They're the first like really tanky enemy that you're going to encounter around here. So you don't have to kill these guys right away, but I just wanted that shard. Up in that tree, on that corpse, there's kukris. I don't feel like getting them, so I'm just gonna leave them there. Mostly because I never really use them. They're only really good for like high dex builds and sometimes PvP, but I don't know. I just don't use them, so I'm not gonna bother getting them. So you can go down this way and get the Sunbro Covenant, or you can go this way and follow this path and get the Mound Makers. So right now I'm going to show you how to get the Mound Maker Covenant. Just go through and kill these dudes. Ooh. I can get better with this thing. I don't use the katana very much, and it shows. So I like to do the running attack because the thrust attacks do more, especially in counter. Like, so if you get them in the middle of a swing, they have like counter frames, and you'll do more damage than you normally would. So watch out for this guy. He's got the flamberge, flambe. Big curvy sword causes bleed. These guys are usually pretty aggressive, and he hangs around right up there until you activate him. And that crow just flew through that wall. Very good. So I opened that door so that later on I can go back in through the other way. But to get to the Mound Makers, you bust around this side over here, and you're going to have to deal with a fairly annoying area. There's just a bunch of these thralls over here shooting their blow darts that do kind of ludicrous amounts of damage for little tiny blow darts. I guess they're big, but they don't stick too far into you. Compared to some other stuff, it's kind of ridiculous. Man. You got Fading Soul over here, so it's clearly like an ambush setup. Like, ooh, look at the goodie, and then they all pop out and start hitting you. And then you go up on this roof. Get your ass beat by this dude. This is the really aggravating area because you're just getting hit from all sides and you gotta like move around. And what's down here? Item. Oh, alright, that's through the door. So then you go up this way. climb this ladder and kill this dude. Nope, you go this way. Over here, and you see this little cage spider dude, and you can talk to him.
Disappeared.
And he gives you this crazy good hint here.
And Nana's never coming back. So come into the cage and become Nana's shade. Another Nana disagrees.
Yeah, so I don't know how anybody could not figure out what they're supposed to do by that hint. I mean, it spells it right out for you. They might as well put a waypoint. It's from Soft, man. They're just really telegraphing this stuff lately. But then you kill that dude, grab this item. Some homeward bones. Always good to have. I like to take mine and put them on the shortcut, so all I have to do is press start and down. Say I'm in like a really bad situation, I can just kind of escape. Alright, then you come on this way. And if you talk to that guy, he will not aggro you. And you can go into this cage. And you get a little cutscene. There's a corpse hanging from the tree. Over there, can't see it in the cutscene, but you can cut it down, and there's like, I want to say it's like the red flame stone plate ring, or the flame stone. It's just, I don't know. I never get it, because it's, I gotta go all the way here, cut it down, and then find a way back, or jump to my death and not get it anyway. So it's, not normal for me to get that ring. But, I could wiki it later and maybe put some commentary as to what it is. But then you got over here Holy Knight Hodric just sauntering around all wacky, lost his damn mind. I've still never gotten his armor set. Played this game a whole bunch, and I've never gotten to the point where I get it. Maybe one day I should actually look it up and get it, because apparently his helmet
this pit is
like part of a min-max setup. Like it's the best helmet you can get for the weight.
Or perhaps
but whatever. Doesn't look that cool. Some weird lump. So he just asks you if you're hollow. Just say yes.
Yes, yes. Then we are just fine. It's important to know who you are. But we'll all be mad soon enough. And should you be undead, well, all the more so. Beware, the shackles of the gods are fragile. You might need this. Etch it on your heart if you feel your sanity slipping. Come here to pile up your victims, for that will form your anchor. You'll see when you go mad. They'll be your family. You'll take my advice.
So the only way to get out of here is a homeward bone right now. Kind of clunky, I think, but whatever. It is what it is. And then this is the altar that you can pray at and offer up your vertebra shackle. So I use that and go to the bonfire last rested at, and then we'll have to kill all these enemies again because reasons. I think, yeah, basically the same as resting at the bonfire. So this time I'm not going to kill everything. I'm just going to probably run right through that group to show you how I would do it. Even for some reason these things are giving you like a really hard time. Or not these things, but where's that dude? He's going to drop down. Yeah, that's that guy I killed over there. He hides up there. But usually I'll just drop down right here, and then I'll run around towards the bridge. Roll past these guys. I don't get hit by these guys. Drop down. A couple more dudes this way. A couple more rolls. And go through the door. And if anybody's following you by this point, you can just get them in the doorway. But they usually give up. Alright, they're not going to make a liar out of me. That's good. So then you got an item right here. Oh, haha. So these guys, like cage spiders or whatever, they throw poop at you. Pretty funny. they're really resistant to slash damage, so say I did 16 damage to it, but if I go and run and do a thrust, I do 156. So they're super weak to thrust attacks. So if you have anything that thrusts, that's pretty much what you're going to do. Then you get this little hole down here, you drop down, and there's your first instance of Estus soup and the Warrior of Sunlight Covenant. Pretty sure it's Siegward who keeps leaving these around in his wake, which is pretty cool because then you can kind of track his progress. So there's a bunch of these dudes. I usually just avoid them. There's going to be 3 thralls that drop down from here. Excellent lock-on system. And then you get this red-eyed guy over here. Really some quality gameplay right now. Oh, that's that poop I was telling you about. I don't know why it doesn't do toxic to you, because that's what the poop does. Awesome. Very good camera work. So this dude's not too bad. He's just like any other dude. But he's got a few dodge attacks. And his red eyes, so he's a little harder than normal dudes. Kill that stupid thing. Pretty sure there's an item up here. I don't remember what it is, so I'm gonna go get it. You can come up through that way too and drop down. You can kill the thralls beforehand, which is nice if you don't feel like dealing with them in a oh, titanite shard. There we go. I knew there was something important up here. I think that's my 4th one, so I can get this katana up to +2. I don't know if I'm going to use it for the rest of the time, but it's the best thing I have right now, so it's what I'm using. Then you get these 2 guys, and there's an evangelist that's going to start shooting gnaws at you. Oh. I gotta up my endurance. Keep running out. Thief character, not a great starting class. You know, very good stats. And there's this guy up here. And the hammer guy. Usually doesn't come in here with you. But these guys are so weak that you can stagger them with a dodge, which is nice. You just kind of dodge into them and they'll get staggered. Pretty sure there's a titanite shard over here, hidden. Yep. Go over to the right, titanite shard. Very nice. And then there's a crystal lizard later I'm going to try to get, but I always fail to get it because I'm bad at jumping in this game because it's not designed for it. So just climb up here. Of course I get hit on the ladder by that. Perfect. Alright, so if she falls down, you can get a sweet free plunging attack on her. And, alright, let's see. Oh, of course you do a grab attack. I wonder if I can bleed her. Nice. So, they're weak to bleed, and, doesn't take very much to bleed them. So I got a titanite shard off of that, which is pretty good. Random drop, because I need those. As many as I can get. Because I'm using 2 weapons right now. And right over here is another titanite shard. Excellent. So there's a big bunch of them in this area. Very rich with that kind of loot. Head over here, and you get that item right there, and a crystal lizard. And then Holy Knight Hodric should invade me, and there's a bonfire right there. So I think you can rest at bonfires when NPCs invade you, which is a cool little thing to know because you cannot when you do not get invaded. When you get invaded by a human player, you cannot rest at the bonfire. So this is a rusted coin, totally not worth it. And we'll see if I can get this dude. Nice. Alright, what is this? I've always wondered. It looked like a sharp gem, and I clicked through it really fast like an idiot because it's a bad habit that I have. I don't ever check anything. Especially when you're recording. It's not a great habit to have because people actually want to see what the hell you got. Yep, so when he invades, you can just go rest at the bonfire if you don't feel like dealing with him, which is pretty great if you're on like your last bit of Estus. So I'm gonna try to get this guy to come over here and fight me by the bonfire. Because, yeah, fighting him alongside with the saw dude, it's not a very good choice. So he has a flamberge, flame bridge, or whatever. Causes bleed. It's a great sword, and it's got that dash attack. And he's got a shield that he barely ever uses. He can parry you. That's the only time he'll ever really use it, is to parry you. So you can just see how he tried to parry. Just do a jumping attack, and you just fall for it every time. I do not do a lot of damage to him. I was hoping to parry him. That thing does not have the range that you would think, considering it's like the size of him. No, not a good trade. Alright. So, I don't know if it's the power within or Karthus Beacon, but he casts that, and then he's got warmth that he'll cast too sometimes. So, right there is a classic run attack buffer. So I caught him with the roll. Oh geez, he's got hyper armor, dummy. But you can roll catch people with that really well. It's like curved swords were really good for that, and so was the katana. It's a little less good at that now because you have, you know, that poke's not nearly as fast as it used to be. All right, so now you might try to cast warmth. Oh, I'm getting sloppy here. No, that's warmth. So, warmth's a pyromancy spell, and it heals everybody that's around it. Oh, he fucking parried me. Genius. Luckily, it doesn't do very much damage, so we'll just, whatever, chalk that up as a loss. Yeah. Hodric's gonna kill me while I'm recording. That's embarrassing. Maybe I'll just try to bleed him. Ah, 2 times in a row. This is bad. I go hang this wireless controller up and just stop from here. Super on tilt. This is bad. Just need to like back up and regroup my thoughts. I don't know if I can parry him when he's two-handing it. And I know he has hyper armor when he's two-handing it. There we go. But when he one-hands it, you can parry him. Definitely. Get him to bleed. Try not to get parried again. Trying to get him to cast warmth again so I can just interrupt him. Oh no, hyper armor. Bad. Hey, I get the blue tearstone ring going, so praise the Lord for that. Oh, that saw guy's right there. No, he just sounded like he was. Alright, alright. Get one more poke on him and he'll be dead, hopefully. Nope. I'll be dead. Awesome. At least I lit the bonfire. Alright, so he's usually not that hard. I'm just playing really poorly right now. Every time you kill a Mound Maker, you get a Vertebra Shackle, which is the Mound Maker Covenant item. And every time you kill a host of embers or a phantom, or the set number of phantoms that they tell you in the beginning, you also get a Vertebra Shackle, which is the Covenant item. So that's you know, if you wanna, if you wanna farm that item, a really easy way to do it is to just keep summoning purple bros, or you can just, you know, be a purple bro and invade, because invading's incredibly easy in this game compared to, like, I don't know, being a Darkmoon Blade or other blue bro, because the blue bros take forever to get summoned. They fixed it from the beginning, so you'll have to wait like maybe a half an hour as opposed to a full like 2 hours. So right over here you're going to want to sprint through because the giant will shoot at you and the bad guys. And I think he probably targets you before he targets them. But I want to get these Mortician ashes this way first because there is a cleric lady that we can free from a cell. And that's pretty much going to be your main vendor for cleric spells for a while. So we're going to go back to the shrine right now and buy that key and do a little bit of leveling up. I cannot remember her name. I never ever use her because I don't play a lot of faith builds because they're just typically underpowered. I think they're buffing them a little bit, and they made a new heal spell in Ring City. It's like a grenade that heals. I can't remember what it's called. It's like projected heal or something, but it's really good. And yeah, I see a lot of people using it. So we're gonna reinforce the Estus flask, so we have another one. And I think I can reinforce the katana almost twice. It's pretty good. I just need one more for that. We'll be able to buy titanite shards on the next episode, I'm pretty sure, so, or the one after that, when we go through Farron Keep.
How many?
So we'll give her the ash.
Gracious. Let this. I only hope the.
So that's how you unlock new items. Is you'll give her ash, and she apparently just makes items out of ash because she's a wizard of some sort. I don't know why she can't just make items out of other ash. I don't know what's special about it. Yeah, sharp gem. That's what we found earlier. So that's good. For dex builds, the sharp gem and the heavy gem have gotten better recently. Let's see, what else do we got? So, purchase the grave key for 1500. Pretty good stuff. That way you can get a hold of all that. And we're going to buy a torch now because we're going to need it later and I'm going to forget. And is there anything else I need? No, that's pretty much it. Alright, so now I'm going to look at my character screen and see what exactly I'm missing here because I want to be able to one-hand this katana because two-handing is dumb. Get way less range. There's no reason not to use a shield when PvE because it's not PvP, so I need 11 strength. So we're going to get up to that right now. 11 strength, and I have the same amount of dex that I need. And we're going to go with endurance because I keep running out of stamina because I have none. So now we can one-hand it. Pretty good. Alright, and we're going to go back. Go to the Undead Settlement, and then we're going to go back to where in the direction where the Mound Maker's Covenant was, and there was a door that I opened where a thrall dropped down with a flamberge, curvy sword thing, and we're gonna go through the door instead of going, oh nice, he's in the floor, excellent. We're gonna go through the door instead of around the side. And that will be the next bonfire that we unlock. I used to miss this one all the time because this area is so big, especially for early on. It's very big and branching, and not a lot of the areas are really obvious. So I'll run through this way. Hopefully we didn't get any attention, but we did. So kill this dude, roll away. And then we're gonna go over here, kill these two dudes. Oh, maybe not. Get hit by a firebomb. It's so great that you can stagger these guys by rolling into them. Like, it's just not a thing that happens later. Especially when you're wearing light armor. It's just like, I don't get it, but I'll take it. Awesome. Ah, yes. So the heavy attack on the one hand is a thrust, which is very nice. Because it's nice to have options. Alright, drink my Estus. We'll head over here. There's an undead bone shard that we can get later too, after I go and make friends with the giant. Oh, alright. We'll go make friends with the big dopey giant that shoots everything until it comes up to you and says 2 words, and then he says, "I hope anytime." Excellent character development. So over here's a trap. Those guys are gonna throw fire bombs and blow that up, but what you're gonna do is, oh my god, not fall off the cliff and jump down here. There's another titanite shard, so that's another one. I should be able to get my weapon up to +3 now, maybe? Or at least get the knife up to +2. Go down here, and you have the other bonfire. I don't remember what this one's called. Cliff Underside bonfire. Very good. So, it's a good staging area right here, because you can get to mostly everywhere from here. So, we're going to go up this way, and we're going to get our pyromancer NPC. Kill these dudes. And there'll be another one right here who throws fire bombs. Oh, it's nice to be able to one-shot these guys now. And there's Cornix the pyromancer and a dead thing with a hand axe. So this dude like really wants to be a master, a pyromancer master. And for him to be a master, you need to be a student. So he's just real creepy about that.
Now, but here we are, an encounter for the ages.
Really don't know how he sees with the blindfold, sage blindfold. You can get that later in the
Care to learn some
lake,
pyromancies from
smoldering
this
lake,
old
pretty
mirror?
sure.
Most
Or maybe it's in
wise.
the
A chance
the
encounter
catacombs.
should not be squandered. To reiterate,
Well, we'll find it later, I'm
cornix
sure of it, because
of
I
the
always
great
find it.
swamp. The pleasure is mine.
And now you can go back, he'll teach you pyromancies, and he'll give you a pyromancer's flame, which is not a glove, it is an actual flame that they hold, which is pretty cool. I don't know what they're doing with it when they're not holding it. Apparently it doesn't burn until you want it to. Put it in your pocket or something, like every other weapon. So this dude with the thing. I don't know if he'll throw it, but he certainly will smash you with his giant pot of people bits. And he's got hyper armor when he swings, so you want to be really careful and not do what I just did. Just keep, I'm so used to playing like strength builds and stuff that like just super giant obnoxious, I was hoping that would kill him. Super giant obnoxious weapons that you can just hit things and they die. Not used to playing with these dex weapons that you gotta hit a bunch of times with. But they're fast. So you go over here and you get this crazy dude just hanging out over this corpse. Of course I would fail to kill him. Alright, he can live now. And you get the fire clutch ring, which is not the best, but I don't know. Sometimes you'll read guides and they'll be like, "Yeah, for pyromancy, it's the best," and it's okay. It's totally not worth it in PvP. The damage that you take, the additional damage that you take, is just incredibly punishing, and it's not worth the pittance of extra damage that you get. I think it's like 10 or 15%, but you end up taking supposedly 10% more damage, which is not, it does not pan out in PvP, because people hit really hard in PvP. And I gotta keep remembering that this thing is not, it's not a spear. It's not a strength weapon. You can't just be swinging in doorways like that and you're gonna get killed. So over here, and of course there's another dog. Alright. So over here is a sewer and a shortcut to the dilapidated bridge bonfire. So over there is a bunch of fog because sewers are foggy, obviously. I've never been in a sewer I've never been in a sewer, so I guess I can't say anything. But you get the Estus, which is a very notable parry tool because it weighs nothing and it parries really fast. But over there is a big giant rat. And some rat buddies, I'm sure. Yep, because I just got one. So when you kill him, you get the bleed bite ring, I think. Yep, blood bite ring, that's what it is, not bleed bite. And we have this little door right here with the lantern. You open that up with the grave key. we're going to go over there and explore that in a moment. But for now, we're going to climb and unlock this shortcut. Yep, right over here. This is where our boy Hodric went and invaded us. Because he's crazy. But then you go through here, and there's going to be a bunch of skeletons and rats and other crap. Probably an evangelist fell down here because that's the kind of luck that I have. Oh, and we have a statue of Velka, I think. And yeah. Pretty cool. The only place you find her. But if you beat up an NPC and he hates your face, you can request absolution, and you can request dissolution to, I think it's for covenant stuff, but I don't know. I never do it because it's crazy expensive, and usually when I beat up an NPC, I'm trying to kill it. But it's a good way, like say you kill the handmaiden in the shrine by accident. She will charge you like 20% more forever, which is freaking hilarious. But that shit adds up after a while, and you can just yeah, you can just pay that one-time fee with Velka and not have to worry about it anymore. Really weird that this guy's got that witch hat on, because later on in the catacombs, the guys that have the witch hat, they'll summon those like balls, or like boulders, and usually they just run away. And it's just a little weird seeing them with the scimitar or whatever. Not used to that. Kind of threw me off. I mean, I'm playing like shit today, so it's like whatever. It's an excuse. And then you get these tree guys that I don't know what the significance of is in this game, but you see a lot of these tree guys, just people turning into trees and shit, and I wish people would figure out why that is, because I'm sure it's neat, but there's so many like half-cooked ideas in this game that just everything in the story, the lore, just kind of falls short. Of course, this fell down. So that evangelist. So if you run away, like see how I just herded him into the, he will run exactly, or she, I guess. I don't know. I'm not going to assume the gender of the crystal lizard that I'm probably not going to kill. There we go. Oh, yeah, watch out for him. That's a trap. In any case, what I was saying was you can, like, herd the crystal lizards, because they'll run in the exact opposite direction that you are running. They will run away from you always, which is pretty neat, because then you can manipulate their behavior and get them to run where you want them to, instead of just directly away from you. But yeah, that dude, he's up on the bridge, so the evangelist will fall off of that bridge when she starts her patrol sometimes. I don't know what causes it, but it happens, and she'll be right there. And that's just another enemy to deal with over here. And I don't think there's any items over there, so I'm just gonna ignore her, because there's no reason to fight her. And I'm out of Estus. And this would be a stupid place to die. So, right over there, there's, what the hell's his name? Morn? Or whatever. So, right over here is a obvious rat trap. And, yeah, they just keep coming, and they will just beat you up and stuff. And rats in this game suck because there's no friggin' poise unless you're swinging a weapon, so I'm just avoiding him. Climb up this ladder, open this door, and come over here and talk to whatever the hell her name is.
Someone there? Anyone? Oh, please. Whoever you are, touch me.
I really hate how the mouths don't move in this game. But they blink, because, you know, reasons. I really don't think it would have taken that much effort for this developer to make a mouth that even moves. Like, it doesn't even have to lip sync. Like, just put some sort of effort into it. So, you touch her. Kind of. Like, you don't even touch her. It's just so funny. He's like, oh, let me touch
No,
you.
not
Hey,
entirely.
you're right there.
Just yet.
Oh my god. Sorry.
Praise the merciful gods above.
So you get the prayer, emote, gesture,
Oh,
and talk to her some more.
I am
Irina.
Carim.
Weird name.
I came to this land so that your touch is free. I am but if
And you can accept her service.
I
And she will sell you miracles when you find tomes. I think she starts off with some pretty simple ones. And we have this guy
Another one of those unkindled.
who's got a really cool armor set.
All you
stupid helmet.
faceless undead,
And
behaving as if you deserve
apparently he wants the top of
respect.
a pillar as a hammer.
Now you've gone and rescued the
I
wench.
see a bunch of people use this hammer.
Very quaint,
I just can't.
pitying creatures.
so damn heavy.
beyond hell.
The Great Club just seems so much better. It has its purposes, though. It has like a Wrath of the Gods effect.
I'm sick of looking after her at any rate. I'm Egon, a knight of Carim.
Ah, Egon the Ghostbuster.
I am allied
Very good.
to you for as long as you assure the good. And
So later on, you spoiler alert. Later on, you fight him if you complete a certain set of circumstances. I can't remember what they are, but I usually end up fighting him, and then you get to get his. You can buy his armor set, and you get his hammer, which is pretty sweet. And now we have Siegward. Sigmire. So exhaust his dialogue options.
Oh, pardon me. I am
Siegward,
Siegward
yeah,
of
not Sigmire.
Catalina, to be honest. Well,
Siegward
like this.
has
Well,
just a really shitty story compared to Sigmire. The first one, yeah, Sigmire's story is so freaking cool. Sigward's story is just, hey, I'm familiar, and now you know, I help you maybe one time, and I don't know, it's not great. So you step on this elevator, let the one elevator go down, and then the other one goes up. You ride it all the way to the top, and you will get to the giant. And he pays no mind to you. When you're down there, he shoots you, tries to kill you because he can. And when you're up here, he doesn't give a shit. Oh, who are you? Make
I
peace.
help any time.
That's it. I help anytime. That's all he says. He's a bow wielding giant. And yeah, we could have did so much with him. Make him more of like a Hawkeye go. Nope, they're just, dude, I'm a fucking giant. Stupid. I'm really salty today. Sorry, guys. And then you can jump right over there. That's your cue that there's something over here. But we're not going to do that right now, because I don't really think I can tackle that whole area on half a life bar. Fall damage alone at the very end will kill me, because there's some fall damage that I'm going to have to take. So we're going to go down here, and there's an Irythill knight, Outrider knight dude with a Irythill straight sword. And you might be thinking, oh man, this dude's a beating, and you're not wrong. He's a skill check, and he's very aggressive. But this game being what it is, I mean, the fact that I'm recording will probably completely ruin this. I'll just get killed. But you can just go over here, you get iframes, he's gonna swing at me, maybe. See the inside of your dude's head. Roll a couple times, and you have a bonfire. And he won't follow you out. So if you're having a hard time with him, you can just walk right through that door. He doesn't reset when you bonfire. That's a fun fact. And then you can just kind of come over here and just beat him up at your leisure. You can even cheese him out right here. Like he might swing at me. No, I'll just throw fire bombs at him. Maybe he'll hit me. Nope. Yeah, so if you're having trouble with this guy, you can totally cheese him out like that. And There's really not a whole lot he can do about it. Ooh. Excellent. You can get this armor set later in the archives. It's a really cool armor set. Cool looking at least. Sadly, you do not crawl around like them, but, you know, you can't have it all. So you get the Irythill straight sword, which I think they patched recently, and it actually does a really respectable amount of frostbite damage now. So it's an option. I saw it used a lot around launch. The pretty much everybody that was past this area would be using it, and I don't know if it's not great anymore. I don't have the stats for it anyway. But you just see everybody using it. Maybe it was just because it was new and everybody was like, "Oh, this is sweet." A blade that's always frozen. It's a really cool visual effect. So we're gonna go up here, and we're gonna go up, and we're gonna jump down and meet our friend Siegward, Sigmire, Onion Guy 2.0, 3.0. Roll right there. Sometimes it's easier to time it from the top if you come back down, because then you can kind of see this area with the lantern. And then you come out here, and we have boop. Him again.
Oh, don't disappear like that. You have me downright worried.
And there's supposed to be a demon down there.
Thanks
There
to
he is,
you,
walking around.
an epiphany has struck me square in the head.
Janky
I've
left leg.
unraveled the
Sweet.
riddle of this inscrutable lift.
I have a lantern on my belt too. It's very excellent. Good thing I have that.
Some days I begin to doubt myself. I went up the tower, so I thought, then somehow ended up here. I'm not exactly sure what happened.
So this dummy fell off the lift.
Anyhow, do you see that? That humongous beast? I'm no coward and I've a steady hand.
Alright, so basically he's just like, we need to think. And, yeah. You're gonna be like, we need to chop the demon up, because demons are for killing. Don't know how he got here. But clearly he's messed a lot of stuff up, and for that he's probably gonna need to die. So I like to fight him up here over by this hill.
Oh, you should have waited.
Because,
Well,
you know,
it's too late now.
Onion Bro takes a little less time to get over there.
Knights of Katarina, fight by your side.
Definitely have him tank whatever hits he can. I've never seen him die. He does not hit very hard. It's for 28 with the freaking Zwee-hander. It's good stuff. But this dude's a pretty easy fight. Just kind of hang around over here. He goes into second phase, and then he does a little jump attack. The camera will definitely work against you there. And flamethrower attack. Doesn't have a lot of range, but he can walk while using it. And then right here should be dead. So he dies. I think you need a fire gem, maybe. Yeah, such like crap loot for how hard that is. Not that it's hard, but it's just, I don't know. Something cooler would be nice.
That was quite a performance. But you mustn't get in over your head. We unkindled must put our duties first. But, for the moment, we've a toast to make.
Alright.
To your valor, my sword, and our victory together.
So the Siegward will heal you entirely, which is pretty sweet. And you learn the toast gesture. So I guess that's a cool reward. And then if you talk to
I'm
him
going to have
a
myself
little more,
little
he will get very narcoleptic and just literally instantly fall asleep. And you get the sleep gesture. And those are the gestures you get from him. And this is probably the little fuzzy feel-good moment. Like, I don't know, I don't want to seem like a jerk, but when I first saw him, it was cool and like it was really fun being like, hey, I know this guy, and he's like really friendly, like, you know, feel good bro man. But upon later further inspection, it's just so like they can just do better. They've done better. They've done so much better. And that's just me being like, you know, I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed. So this corpse right here has a pale tongue, which you can use to get the lift key, and it's also a the lift key. So you can get the red eye orb, not a cracked red eye orb, from, you'll find Ringfinger, Leonard, and he will give you that lift key if you have found a pale tongue. First they'll give you cracked red eye orbs, and you know, I guess the idea is you go invade people, get a pale tongue, and then you can you know, get a proper uncracked. This is a trap. I don't even think that's worth it. I'm not gonna bother. I think it's like dung. But all those spider dudes, they fall, the cage spiders, and they attack you, and it's not worth it. So I'm just gonna avoid that entirely, because you should too. And you get these dudes on the rocking chairs that don't rock, but explode. Oh Jesus! And there's some dogs over here. Just keep your shield up. They'll recoil off them. Hit them with a heavy attack, and they die. Also right here, same thing. The least aggressive dog there is. So there's a chest over here, but then there's a bunch of cage spiders over here. So I'm not going to bother with that chest right now. I don't remember what's in it. I usually don't get it. Oh, I'm not two-handing this. Man, I could probably get a plunge attack. Nope. Yes, got a plunge attack. Cool. I thought the physics were gonna jank me up, and I got an Estus flask. So you can run around her, backstab her. I'm surprised it didn't home in on me. That's like the kind of luck that I would have. And you can parry the book if you're fast enough. I was not that time, but that's alright. So now I'm gonna go over here, and I'm going to open this chest, get what's in it, and just avoid these cage spiders. Human pine resin. That's decent. It does dark damage, I think. Like, so it's buffs your weapon for dark damage. So decent, but definitely not worth dying for. You want to take care of those evangelists first. And then just avoid those spiders, because they really don't drop anything good. You get Flynn's ring over here, and for the longest time I did not realize you could jump down here, which is pretty neat. But if you don't have enough health to take the fall damage, then it's kind of a bummer. If you're the assassin class, you can use Spook, and you can then avoid fall damage entirely. But you just go right there, just run off. You can roll off too, jump down, and you get the cloranthy ring hidden in this box. There's a box, and you get the mirrah set, which is the one Lucatiel was wearing that. You can also get Lucatiel's mask for cosplay purposes with a vertebra shackle. You bring it to Snuggly the Crow, and Snuggly the Crow will give you your vertebra shackle. I mean your Lucatiel's mask, which is pretty cool. Definitely a cooler looking helmet, and if you like Lucatiel's character, also cool. I think you can just walk by and they're not gonna bother me because of my sweet ninja outfit. They'll never see me. Alright, so what we're gonna do now is run over to the dilapidated bridge bonfire. I feel like I'm forgetting something. I feel like I am forgetting something other than this stupid dog. But there's a lot of stuff in this area. It's very, very thick with things to do. Friggin' rats. I mean, it's really stupid of me to just try to spam attacks in them, but the rats, man, they're so dumb. It's a good thing, I guess it wouldn't even matter. It's like, it's a good thing they don't poison you like they did in the first one, but the freaking poison's not even a big deal in this one compared to the first one, and I think that's even pre-patch. Pre-patch, Dark Souls 1, the poison was like savage, especially at the time that you'd be running into them, like the first time you'd be playing. I just be trying to get under that red Hellkite Drake or whatever, and it just, oh god, it would just whoop my ass constantly. I'd get hit, turn into get poisoned, and then I just try to make my way through, and then there's the armored hog. It's clumsily trying to play Dark Souls 1. Those were the days. But these guys, if you get your parry timing down, these guys are really easy to deal with. You can't backstab them because they have a board on their back with chains, because board and chains, pretty good. Kind of a bummer that you can't get that as a player character. That'd be like really hilarious to see how many people would be running around trying not to get backstabbed in PvP. Not that it's like crazy. So now that the giant has made peace with me, he will only attack them, and he cannot hurt me anymore. So you can get all of these. You get Ember, Fading Soul, Young White Branch. Young White Branch. You still have to be kind of vigilant, because these guys will kind of, they'll walk up on you still. And he's not the best shot always. But it makes life a lot easier for the most part. If you can see through the dust. Alright, so now you have right over here. Don't die. I'm sure I will because I'm recording. Just go, jump over here, and you have your first undead bone shard. So this is what makes your... so, very common mistake, and I did it the first few times to try to jump back over that way. Bad call. You want to jump back over this way. But that's what makes your Estus flasks +1, +2, +3, +4. I think it all goes up to 10. And each time you get it, the bonus you get's a little less. So the most significant one is the +1 bonus. So you got a thrall up there waiting to do a plunging attack on you. And I can't tell you how many times this dude used to get me. And you get the cleric set right there. Head on down this way. You're going to this house. I don't know if the guy that normally pokes you with the spear came out. Nope, still there. So, kill him. And the hammer guy left. So now you have the red-eyed guy again. If I get a lock onto him. And now he's dead. So, now you go up here. If you turn around, you'll notice an item. Jump. You will get the Great Scythe, which not as good as in the first one, but still looks really cool. Not very good overall weapon in this game, but again, looks cool. And every weapon is pretty viable as far as, PvE is concerned. Some are going to be better than others. It's not a great PvP weapon. So, I'm going to open this door right here. See my sweet teeth. And we're over here again. So, that's more or less the entirety of this level. And right over there, if you look, is the curse-rotted great tree. And that's the tree that I was looking at before. So, I'm pretty sure, yeah, he's not that big. So, that's probably still going to be there when he's dead. So, he's allergic. He's weak to fire because he's a tree and made of wood. So, when you fight this dude, you want a vertical slashing weapon, like this katana. So this will probably make the fight a lot easier, because you have to attack these little gross pustule things that he has on him, and that's how you do your damage. If you attack them enough, you'll break them, and also, he's an optional boss right now. You don't have to kill him for progression. So there's a few storylines that will come to an end if you hit him. So he's got pustules right here too. They're easy to break for like 900 damage. He'll damage these guys too. So if they're not attacking you directly, just kind of ignore them. once you break that, he's going to do... Oh, maybe I can get another hit on that. Nice. That's free 700 damage right there. But being weak to fire is great to know because that's... Shoot. I am not tearing things... Oh, yeah, so he does his plunge attack, you fall down. First time I thought I was going to die. Not the case. And now he's going to sprout this gross hand thing. And it has a grab attack that you want to be very wary of because it hits hard. And then he does this attack where... oh shit. These things come out, it slows you down, it's like just obnoxious. It hurts you. But it doesn't stun you, which is nice. Nice. Yeah, so this thing's like really putting in work right now. So, try to get this. There we go. And that should be it. I think he's dead now. If he's not dead, he will be. Yep. So you can attack the hand as well. But that was a really easy boss fight, especially if you have some pine resin. And you'll get the transposing kiln and the soul of the rotted greatwood. If you look over here, really nice detail. It's the kind of stuff I'm used to seeing from Soft Dew. But if you did not get the Mound Maker's Covenant, you can't get it now because this dude's dead. You can get it later. There's another little quest line that you can do to get it. But if you didn't get the Mound Maker's Covenant and you didn't know about this guy's existence, you'd be like, oh, what the hell? And that's how I was the first time, and I think that's how a lot of people were. How many of these do I have? Just one. So I'm not going to offer it. So the Covenant rewards for these guys are, if you get 10 of them, you get a katana called Bloodlust, which you can stab yourself with, and it ups your bleed damage and your normal damage. And then I think 30 shackles, and you will get warmth, I want to say. You get warmth, which is pretty cool. I'll have to look into that. If it's different, I'll make a note in the comments. But that's the Undead Settlement, by and large. That's all there is to this, which is a lot. I don't know how long I've been recording at this point, but you know, this is probably the quickest I could have gone through it. And even though I've been playing like crap, I didn't die, so I guess I'm not really playing like crap. So when you get back, you can give the transposing kiln to Ludleth, and you have 21,000 souls. Not if you didn't die, which is pretty sweet. That should get me pretty far.
Fret not, fret not.
So you talk to him, and you can give him the transposing kiln.
Oh, belike it is.
As my left ankle does janky shit.
In thy possession. See now,
I guess they hid that in the tree. But right here, you get the Hollow Slayer Greatsword. I'm probably gonna get that because I've never used it, and I hear it's really good. So that's what I'm gonna use for a weapon. You get that from the soul of the rotted greatwood, and you spend 1,000 souls on it. And then you get Aster's Spear, which may have gotten a little bit of a boost in the last patch, but still not great. Demon's Fist we haven't run into. But these are the things you can get, and it shows, if you look at the screen, it says Soul of Boreal Valley Vort, and it tells you what you need. So if you're ever curious, like Soul of a Demon, I haven't even run into a demon to get a soul from, and that's that right there. Like, so it kind of can let you know what kind of stuff you're going to be running into if you don't know. We're going to talk to Hawkwood.
Asking us to be talking.
Oh, good. But what do you really need?
He gives you a heavy gem at some point. I don't know if it's right now, which would be nice. Yep, heavy gem. Cool. So if you're doing a strength build, at this point in the game, you should be able to have an infusion for whatever it is you're doing. You have the refined. Yeah, refined for quality, sharp for dex, heavy, which I think I found on a drop for strength. And then you have a titanite scale, some titanite shards, and a fire gem. There's a little crystal lizard over You know how I jumped up onto the roof and showed you Snuggly the Crow in the first episode? There's a crystal lizard behind there that I didn't get, and I think he drops a scale as well. But I didn't get it because I didn't think I'd need it. But we have right here, ring finger.
And fast on the trail of the look, then these red eyes are for you.
First time you see him, I'll give you the cracked red eye orbs. I don't know if I need to leave again. Yeah, if I leave again, he will give me the lift key. So I think I'm just going to travel to Firelink Shrine. No, it won't let me. What about this way? Haha. Sneaky Pete. So when I come back, the area should reload, and hopefully that will advance his dialogue options a little bit more. And we can get the red eye orb. Yep.
I'm Leah. Remember me? You'll make a few then. Key has been.
So he'll give you the lift chamber key, and the trigger for that is if he gave you the red eye orbs, the cracked red eye orbs, and you then afterwards acquire some sort of like a pale tongue. Not some sort of, like if you acquire a pale tongue. That's what triggers that. Then you can fight a dark wraith to get the red eye orb. I think I'm going to make that a separate video entirely. Just a quick one to show people if they don't know. Alright, we're going to sell our souls right now. Alright, and then we're going to go talk to Grey Rat. Tell him of Loretta's fate.
Hello, you're back and in one piece. Well.
So you give him Loretta's bone.
Heavens, she was already dead. Thank you. I'm not surprised, though. Almost a relief, really. You can keep the ring as, well, a little trinket of thanks, I suppose.
And now, later on, you'll see him, he'll be curled up, he'll give you the curl up gesture as well. And from then on out, you can start sending him out to pillage, and he will get new items. I think you can do it 3 or 4 times. There's a storyline part where if you don't do something, he'll die. But you can get some good stuff from him. So this is Yoel. I skipped all of his dialogue because I'm a jerk. And yeah, so if you talk to him and you draw out true strength, this is a very not at all explained mechanic, but you get this free level, which is like, oh man, free level, awesome. And it used to be, I think, that you could only summon one person at a time when you were hollow. I don't know if they patched that out or if it was just a weird coincidence that I was hollow and I couldn't summon more than one person. It's probably just a coincidence because nobody else seems to say that that's a thing. So you can get up to 5 free levels from him, and every time you get a free level from him, you get an item. Boom, boom, right there, Dark Sigil. Accumulates curse. A lot of people were very confused about that thing. I'm one of them. And, you know, as time goes on, I realize your guy looks more and more like beef jerky because he's hollowing every time he dies. The more Dark Sigils you have, every time you die, you get a level of hollowing on your hollowing stat. Which is switch. Tucked away somewhere. You're probably looking at it right now going, it's right there, stupid, but I can't seem to find it right now. Oh well. But in any case, every time you die, it'll increase by the number of Dark Sigils that you have. So if you only have the 1 Dark Sigil, you will get 1 level of hollowing. Maximum is 99. When you get over here, you can burn your Undead Bone Shard. Get your Estus Flask 2+1. Very nice. It will heal much more now. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh, I didn't talk to Cornix yet. There we go. So we'll talk to Cornix, and then we will also talk to Irina.
Ah, there you are. I wish to for trusting. As promised, at first.
So it gives you a pyromancy flame. Pretty great. You can reinforce it through him with titanite shards. And you can purchase items or learn pyromancies. Fire Surge is really good in PvP because it's really hard to punish. And all the rest of them have their own levels of viability in PvE. But pyromancy can be like such an easy button, especially once you get the Chaos Bed Vestiges. PvP, not that great. PvE, it's incredible. You can go through the whole game with just that and pretty much whoop everything's butt.
Welcome back. I was not meant to be a firekeeper, but I am honored to serve.
Kills
you
me that
beside
the mouth
bonfire.
doesn't move.
The gods are ever merciful. I am yours now.
Alright, so you can learn miracles from her. You get Homeward, which is like a homeward bone. Caressing Tears, pretty good. Replenishment and Heal. Caressing Tears like cures poison and the like. And you can buy the Saint Ring for 300, gives you an additional attunement slot if you don't have one already. It's a good way to kind of splash some stuff. Like you can get, you know, Karthus Flame Arc and get some fire damage on your weapon for free. It just costs the ring slot, which is kind of expensive sometimes, but alright, so now we have all these cool rings. I need the cloranthy ring on and probably the Bloodbite ring because I really have no reason not to put another one on. And then from there, I need to figure out Hollow Slayer Great Sword needs 14 and 18, which hopefully I'll be able to get to right now. And then we can roll around with that thing and it'll be sweet. Maybe it'll use Titanite scales. 14, 18. Nice. That worked out really well. Normally I'd be putting points into Vigor, but I'm not dying a lot right now, so I'm gonna go for the weapon. Neat. So now if you wanted to do your Lucatiel cosplay, you'd be getting close. Yep, it does take scales. And I have one. What do I have? I'm probably going to sell an Ember because I don't plan on doing a lot of online with this character. And if I do, I'll just invade people and take more Embers, so it's not that big of a deal. So we are going to reinforce. Oh, you only need 2 scales. Nice. So I can go get that other one later. And we'll go from there. What do I do for damage? Probably should have checked before I went and invested all that. 168, 37. Yeah. It's going to be better. Also, I like the Greatsword moveset in general. I think that's a shield break. Yeah. So this has a guard break, I think. That if I look in the description. No, that's not the right button for that. I gotta go to the inventory to look at that because FromSoft hates usability. Standard and thrust stance. Yeah, so that's a guard break. So that's going to be really handy for anybody with a tower shield, because those guys suck. Alright, very good. Thanks for coming around. If I missed anything, please tell me, because I'm trying to make this as inclusive, not inclusive, but all covering as I can. And yeah, I'll see you next time.